Hey guys, it's Alicia, and today I'm going to show you how to fix the ERR INTERNET DISCONNECTED error. ERR INTERNET DISCONNECTED is a relatively common issue when browsing the internet. However, it can be frustrating when you're going about your usual online activities. Plus, without technical support, you might not know how to clear the error. In this video, we'll guide you through 8 methods for fixing the error. But before we get started, I want to let you know that there will be links to more resources in the video's description. And remember, subscribe and ring that bell to get notifications for future helpful content. Before we jump into these fixes, if you're using Google Chrome, try to access the website URL using Firefox or Microsoft Edge. If this doesn't work, then let's rock and roll. As we've discussed, your internet connection is a common cause of the ERR INTERNET DISCONNECTED error. Therefore, you'll need to check your router and make sure all the cables are firmly attached. It's also a good idea to verify your Wi-Fi connection. If you're using a Wi-Fi hotspot, there might not be an active network powering your session. Additionally, if the Wi-Fi drops, your connection will be lost, which can result in an error message on your screen. If a poor internet connection is the cause of this error, restart the modem and router. Additionally, if you've configured a VPN or proxy server at the router level, you'll also need to ensure that your router is connected correctly to the internet port. There might be an automatic change in your computer's local area network settings. If this is the cause of the ERR INTERNET DISCONNECTED error, you'll need to adjust the settings to reboot your internet connection. To do this on Windows devices, head to Control Panel, then Network and Internet to find Internet options. Then go to Connections, then LAN Settings. Under Automatic Configuration, check the box that says Automatically Detect Settings. Next, under Proxy Server, uncheck the box that says Use a proxy server for your LAN. You can fix ERR INTERNET DISCONNECTED on Mac by going to System Preferences, then Network. Then select the relevant network and click on Advanced. Here, you can change networks, reorder networks, or check the box to block your computer from remembering previous networks you've joined. Once you've configured these settings, restart your computer. Then try to reload the page within your browser to see if the error message triggers again. WLAN profiles are wireless profiles that are created each time you connect to a new network. Each network contains security keys and other settings. These enable your computer to automatically establish a connection when you rediscover the network. However, if a WLAN profile has outdated or incorrect saved settings, it could interfere with your internet connection. To delete your WLAN profiles on Windows, go to Start, then Settings, then Network and Internet, then Wi-Fi, then Manage Known Networks. Here, you can see all the wireless networks you've connected to. Find the network that you want to delete and select Forget. Then restart your computer. For Mac users, head to System Preferences, then Network. Here, click on Wi-Fi in the sidebar and then select Advanced. Now, find the network that you want to forget and hit the minus icon to remove it. Finally, click on Apply and restart your computer. If you have an antivirus program installed on your computer, it might interfere with your internet connection. However, you can temporarily disable the antivirus software to see if it's the problem. As long as you restore the program as quickly as possible, you shouldn't be putting your computer at risk. To get started on Windows, navigate to your Control Panel, then Programs and Features, then uninstall a program. Find your antivirus software and uninstall it. It's as simple as that. However, some programs may require you to open and disable the program using the application settings. This is especially true if your device is a Mac. If the ERR INTERNET DISCONNECTED error disappears at this point, then you know that your antivirus program is the issue. In this case, you may need to reinstall a newer software version or choose a different provider. A firewall is a security protocol that monitors and filters traffic on your computer. It sits between a private network and the public internet to block malicious attacks. However, like an antivirus program, your firewall can sometimes interfere with your internet session. Therefore, consider disabling the firewall to clear the error. To do this on Windows, head to your Control Panel by pressing the Windows key plus I. Here, click on System and Security, then Windows Defender Firewall. From the menu on your left, click on Turn Windows Firewall on or off. Then check the box that says Turn off Windows Firewall. Then restart your computer to see if the error has cleared. You can disable a firewall on Mac by clicking on the Apple icon and heading to the System Settings, then Network, then Firewall. Then select the slider next to Firewall to toggle it on or off. Note that the interface text might be slightly different depending on the version of macOS your computer is running. Cookies and cache data may also terminate internet sessions prematurely. Therefore, you can try clearing your browser data to resolve connection issues. In Chrome, select the 3 vertical dots and click on Settings. Scroll down to Privacy and Security and select Clear Browsing Data. Now, you can either choose cookies and other site data, cached images and files, or browser history. Make sure that you check at least the first 2 options, then hit Clear Data to clear your Google cache. Later in this video, we'll also show you how to do this in other leading browsers. You might also be able to fix your internet connection by resetting your IP address and transition control protocol with command line CMD. Plus, you can try flushing your domain name server. To get started with this method on Windows, press the Windows key plus S to search for a command prompt. Then enter the following commands to reset TCP and IP. To flush the DNS cache, add this command. After each command, hit the Enter key to run it. Then try restarting your system. If you have a Mac, head to System Settings, then Network. Click on your network, hit Details, and finally select TCP/IP. Now choose Renew DHCP Lease to refresh the settings. You'll also need to flush the DNS cache. The correct command will depend on the version of Mac you're running on your computer. First, select the Apple symbol at the top left of your screen and hit About This Mac. You'll now be able to see your version. We then recommend following the steps outlined in our guide on how to flush the DNS cache on your Mac devices, linked in the description below. Here we include all the commands and show you how to enter one into your system. Windows drivers run everything on your computer, from display configurations to how your hardware interfaces with software. If you think the ERR INTERNET DISCONNECTED error originates from your device rather than the browser, it's worth updating your Windows drivers. Some Windows manufacturers have dedicated applications to help you do this. For example, HP provides the HP Support Assistant app. However, if you don't have access to an app, you can also update your Windows drivers through Windows Update. Open the search bar and enter Device Manager, then click on Device Manager. Now, right-click on the device you'd like to update and select Update Driver. You should now see a pop-up asking you where you would like your computer to search for the updates. Select Search Automatically for drivers. If Windows finds a new driver update, you'll be able to select it and install it. Note that keeping your Windows computer updated regularly can also prevent issues with its drivers. You can find any available updates by heading to Settings, then Windows Update. Windows will automatically look for updates and display them here. You can also click on Check for Updates to confirm that you're running the latest version of Windows. Although the ERR INTERNET DISCONNECTED error is common in Google Chrome, it can appear in almost any browser. Many of the tips we've covered are still relevant because they relate to your computer settings. However, we'll also show you how to clear your browser cache in different browsers. Let's start with Brave. To clear the ERR INTERNET DISCONNECTED error in the Brave browser, type brave://settings/ into the search bar. Then scroll down and select System. Now open your computer's proxy settings. This will take you to a subpage of your Windows settings where you can disable the automatically detect settings configuration. Then try to reconnect to the internet. To clear your Brave browser cookies and cache, switch to Privacy and Security. Then hit Clear Browsing Data and check the boxes that apply to you. If you see the ERR INTERNET DISCONNECTED error in Mozilla Firefox, try clearing the cache. Click on the 3 horizontal lines in the browser and select Settings. Next, go to Privacy and Security and find Cookies and Site Data. Then select Clear Data and make your selection. Hit Clear to confirm your action and restart your computer. To fix the ERR INTERNET DISCONNECTED error in Microsoft Edge, type this URL into the search bar to bring up the browser settings. Then select the 3 horizontal bars and click on System and Performance. Now open your computer's proxy settings and make sure the box that says Auto Proxy Discovery is unchecked. If this doesn't work, you can try clearing your cache by returning to Settings and selecting Privacy, Search, and Services. Then, under Clear Browsing Data, click on Choose What to Clear. Here, choose Cookies and Other Site Data and Cached Images and Files. Finally, select Clear Now to complete the action. Kinsta's WordPress hosting can speed up your website by up to 200%, and you'll get 24/7 support from our expert WordPress engineers. We offer 2 months free with any annual plan, a 30-day money-back guarantee, and unlimited free basic migration from any host. Head over to kinsta.com/plans to get started. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more tutorials, explainers, and helpful content like this.